December 31st, 2020. Yes. Hey. All right, we're going to get it on. Last day of the year. One of my favorite days of the year. One of my favorite days, even 2020. Oh my goodness. Keeping the main thing. I want to share with you in episode 273, how to keep the main thing in 2021, right? And maybe, gosh, the main thing was not so awesome for you in 2020. But I'm sorry. Do you have a song? When you come on here, let me know you're live. Come on, you got to bring it. It's the last day of the year. I know you want to put 2020 like far in the past, right? You want to clear it out. I want to share with you today. I want you to get excited, not just because it's a new year, right? Not a new year, new you, new resolution, like move 2020, like tomorrow is going to be there's a new day, right? It doesn't mean, yes, there's a new number on the end of the year. It's 2021, right? The vision, 2020 vision got us all blinded and off track. But man, I'll tell you what, I'm excited. I hope you are as well. Today is going to be an amazing day. It's actually my father's birthday. He turns 78 today, New Year's. He's a New Year's Eve baby. Excited for him that he's living and well and doing well. My parents both are, praise God. My dad's healthy and well. Saw him about a week ago. But I want to share with you how to keep the main thing. It's something that actually is relatively new, the saying to me, and I'm sure you've probably heard it. How to keep the main thing. Well, I posted just about 5 minutes ago, and that's why I was kind of working on getting the title in here. But I posted the very premiere episode of the Daily Dose, right? And if you want to go back, you can check it out. In fact, I saved every single episode, 272 episodes. This is 273. I think there might have been a missed number in there somehow, but I know there's at least 270 episodes, and they're all on YouTube right now. So I know YouTube doesn't like when you post to take them off, or Facebook doesn't like when you take off of Facebook. So again, you can go there after you're done with all your Facebook scrolling and so forth. But for now, we're talking about how to keep the main thing. And I knew it was easy back. I knew because I had great coaches. I had great mentors to help us pivot, shift. That was the word, the buzzword for a month or so is how are you going to pivot, right? How are you going to shift? How are you going to be able to stay focused? And that was what the very first episode, in fact, I watched it about 20 minutes ago. And I said, what did I say? I listened to most of them back to kind of get feedback for myself and to see how I can improve and encourage. And again, I'm not like a formal public speaker. Gosh, I've done thousands of videos now. And I get excited every time I get to share some inspiration and encouragement with you, whether you're a client of mine, a past client of mine, maybe you're brand new to Facebook world or to my world. And I just want to say, welcome you. If you had a crummy year, I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, here's the truth. The truth about 2020 is this, regardless of your opinions and all that stuff, is what you focused on for the past maybe lockdown, 270 something days, 280 days, what have you, maybe a few more. I remember coming out of spring break. We were in Colorado with our family. It was amazing. We had a beautiful vacation, and that was right when everything shut down. Literally, like people were leaving the slopes to get back on their flights to fly back home to wherever they lived. And it was kind of a scary time, right? And it was easy to focus on, oh my gosh, are we going to get home? Oh my gosh, what's going to happen? School's closed, this closed, people are getting sick, all that stuff. COVID scare, all those types of things, fear. And unfortunately, I think a lot of times people, and I just saw it over this last year. And don't get me wrong, I had some cautions. I wanted to be careful. But what happened was I saw a lot of people focusing on a lot of things. And what you focus on is where you're at right now. So like if you stressed out, guess what? If you focused on being stressed out the whole time, chances are right now today you're stressed. If you focused on trying to maybe just kind of block it out, like to just like avoid it and block it out, and maybe you had a little bit extra to drink, or maybe you went to some other avenues to soothe yourself, to numb the pain of what this year went through, that's probably what you focused on. And guess what? That's where you're at. And, in order for you to keep the main thing, you got to know what is the most important thing. Like 2021's coming, right? The most important thing. Like here, what you focus on, right? So without these, just so you know, now I typically wear contact lenses. And I want to just bring this song back because it's such a great song. Let me see here. All right, let me bring it back because it's such a great song. And I have a song for you too. But I'm going to clear the lens. So what I'm doing right now, you've done it with your shirt where you like wipe it off, right? Now I typically wear contact lenses, but I wanted to put these on. I gave my eyes a rest. So what you focus on now, when I take these off, I can't see. I'm out of focus. Like there's no focus right here. Like nothing's in focus. When I put the lenses on, it's very clear. But again, I can be looking forward here. I can be looking over to this side. I can be looking over this way. Now, if I'm looking over there, I see the corner of our house. I can't see in front of me. I can see the side of my house, even with some peripheral vision, which isn't that great, by the way, as here. Now, if I turn to the left and I focus over here, guess what? I don't have eyes in the back of my head. I can't see all the way around 360 degrees like those owls, right? I'm looking for, even when owls turn their heads, they can only see what's in front, I think, in front of them. Focus here. So what you focus on in the new year is going to be where you're going to end up December 31st, 2021. And I would say is there's a lot of focus on fear. There's a lot of focus on fighting. There's a lot of focus on the news, right? If you're focused on the news, I hate to break it to you, but I focused on the news for about 5 minutes during this whole past year. And I'll tell you what, it did not serve me very well. So I had to change my focus. I had to change my focus. And I'll tell you what, for some things that I focused on, it's been a phenomenal year. I know I hear people when they shared yesterday, what's been the biggest takeaway is like, man, like some of you just really had wrecks of a year. But maybe it was because, and there may be different circumstances, right? Obviously. I don't know all the circumstances. I'm not the expert. But I do know this, is that whatever you focused on grew. Whatever you focused on in 2020 grew. If you focused on all of the fear, chances are that you're now more fearful than ever in your life right now. Like that's the reality, right? If you were focused on maybe your family during this time, chances are maybe your family's in a good place right now. Maybe not. If you focused on faith, like here's the thing for me, and I'm just grateful that I had a good guardrail set up. I had a good support system around me. I know not everybody does, but I know this is for sure as a man of faith, is that nobody can take that away. You can focus on God every single day, every single hour if you need to. I know people that would be in a lot worse off shape if they didn't have their faith and weren't able to focus on God and the things that really maybe you can't see, like this virus, right? We can't see this, right? Just as faith is something as belief in the things we cannot see, right? So just keep that in mind. And it's interesting because I'm going to post later today, so stay tuned. And I have a song for you because it's a song that really resonated. I played it just a few moments ago when we got on here. And it was awesome, and some lyrics, and I got to share that with you. But I was putting together a list of things that I've learned. I want to post, and I was like, oh, I'll have a list of 20 things that I learned in 2020. And here I am I wrote down the list because I didn't want to forget them. I'm going to give you one or two. But it was just in the first month because I wrote notes in April and May, and I wrote notes every day, and I wrote journal, and I started to write down things that I was learning over this year, things that I was focusing on. Journaling was one of those. And I have almost 20 things that I didn't even get through May of 2020. And I'll say some of the things that just so you know, some of these like golden nuggets to focus on has helped me get through this year, and is excited, really excited. Because you could be focused on the fear of 2021, or you could be focused on the gifts that are already there. Maybe you have a great relationship with your maker, with God. Maybe you have a great relationship with your family. Maybe you have a great job. Maybe you have a lot of things. You woke up and that's just enough to be grateful for, right? Like, here's the thing. Things that I learned, I'm just going to give you a couple of them. God's calling in your life and in mine, whether you know him or not, is much bigger than any crisis, just so you know. That's one of them. Let God be God and be more like Jesus. So I'm not saying you're Jesus, right? But let God be God. Like God controlling the things that he's controlled. Let him be God. The hard thing is when I try to be God, it never serves me well. But when I try to be more like Jesus, when I try to be more serving and be more available, and Jesus is love, the definition of love, Jesus is love. God is love, right? Like, think of that. That's something that if I can be more loving, and I failed, trust me, I failed. But these are things that I've learned to be more of, things like that. I know one of the things, my waistline cannot afford to watch the news all day. I know for a fact people that had struggled with their waistline, with their, maybe the couch potato mode, they struggle with their weight. And then I asked, well, I've been watching the news all the time, and then I'm snacking, I'm getting nervous, and I'm eating my emotions. And I know that one of the other lessons, and I'm going to share, maybe it's 100 lessons for 2020, and I'm going to be posting that later. But I want to share with you in this kind of final moment here. And I think today is going to be limited. I'm going to enjoy the last day of the year with my family. Chances are, I hope you are as well. Maybe after work. But again, going into New Year, keep the main thing, the main thing. The main thing, the main thing. Like, there's so much that we have no control over. No control. Zero control over. We can't, there's things in the world that we have zero ability to control. But there is a lot that you can. And you can keep in your life the main thing, the main thing. That's where you're going to be in 2021. Next year, this time, if you have, your health is in crappy shape, if you focus on that, guess what? I guarantee you it's going to improve. If you focus on your family, maybe relationships in your family had really struggled. Maybe you have, friendships that are broken and stuff. And if you really want to restore those, and guess what? You got to focus on it. And it doesn't mean you have to only focus on that, but you focus on the main thing, the main thing. For me, I'll tell you what, that served me, and it will continue to serve me, and why I surround myself, that hedge of protection, if you will, the churchy words, the churchy phrase, the hedge of protection is I want to surround myself with people, with inspiring, encouraging people of faith, men and women of faith. Why my coaching program is designed not just for Christians, but the tendency is a lot of Christians come into my coaching program because they want to have that support, their own hedge of protection, so that they can keep focused for them on their health, because it wasn't the main thing for a while. And that's what they're looking to achieve now in this new year. But I want to share this with you because this is a song. Now, here's what I want to leave you with. There's a song. Do you have a song for 2020? I want to ask you, if you have a song for 2020, and it may be a bad one, maybe it's like, who knows, maybe it's like, get it out of here. Maybe it's like a tragic song. I apologize. I have a song for you, and I want you, if you haven't looked, and you don't have to be a Bible-thumping, holy roller Christian to enjoy the song. It's actually like, and if you would have asked me 10 years ago if I was listening to Christian rock music or worship music, I remember when I moved here hearing people that listen to like Christian music, like contemporary Christian music or Christian rock. I didn't even know Christian rock existed when I moved here from New York. I didn't even know that existed. And then I'm like, what is that? Well, anyway, there's a song that resonated. I played it earlier, and it's actually from church I've been digging into, is Stephen Furtick, and it's Elevation Worship. Chances are you probably, if you're a man or woman of faith, you've heard it. But there's a song, and I want to share with you this one little piece of the lyrics. The lyrics are awesome. I love to look the lyrics up in the worship songs that are really resonating with me. And I want to leave you with this. This is Elevation Worship. The song is Rattle. And there's one little thing I want to share with you to help encourage you to keep the main thing, the main thing. And I'm just going to go through this first part of it. Listen. So, all right, it's coming. Stay with me. And you might have heard the song. Feel free to sing it. Feel free to pull it up on Spotify or on Pandora or whatever music you have. It's such a good song. Saturday was silent. Surely it was through. Listen to that. Since when has impossible ever stopped you? Listen to that. Oh, it's giving me like goosebumps. Here we go. One little more. Friday's disappointment. Sunday's empty tomb. Since when has impossible ever stopped you? Since when has impossible ever stopped you? Oh man, such a good song. Now it does get louder. It's more in the rock. Right now it's a little softer. Listen to this. Open the grave, I'm coming out. Yeah, such a good song. But that one lyric in there, I'll play it. I'm just going to keep it down low. Since when has impossible ever stopped you? Like, think of this. Like, if you're a believer, if you have faith, even if it's just a little bit of faith, and you know God, and you know the ability he has, since when has impossible ever stopped him? It hasn't. So if you feel like 2020 has been that like impossible year, guess what? God's bigger than any of your circumstances. God's bigger than any of your disappointments, any of your frustrations, any of your loss. There's been loss this year. Any of that. Any of your sadness, any of your anxiety, any of your depression, any of the brokenness that you've been living in, any of that. Check this out. Since when has impossible ever stopped him? Pretty crazy, huh? This is my song for the years. There was a couple of them. The Blessing by them is so good, because truly a blessing. And I don't know why I'm yelling. It's the end of the year. I'm excited. I'm excited for the day that God just gave me another one today to get up and to live, right? Like that. That's it. So if you want a song to boost your spirits and boost your main thing and keeping the main thing now, if you are a believer, if you're listening right now and you're a man or woman of faith, and maybe it's strong, maybe it's not, maybe you've wavered a little bit, maybe you've strayed a bit with the churchy words, right? Maybe you've gotten a little bit soft, if you will, in your walk. Here's the thing. The good news is God's still there. He's still available for you. He still loves you. He cares for you. No matter what kind of mistakes you've made, like that's it. And maybe this was the year of Rattle, right? Maybe this was the year of Rattle. But since when has impossible ever stopped you? Think of that when you're talking to God, when you're having your quiet time. Since when has impossible ever stopped him? It hasn't, right? Like, that's pretty crazy. Oh, here's the best part. I feel him moving it now. I feel him doing it now. I feel him doing it now, doing it now. Oh, so good, so good. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with that. It is December 31st. I hope this encouraged you. Share it with somebody if it did. Again, I posted just before this one, episode 1. I've hung on to all the episodes. I don't think I titled all of them until maybe midway through. Maybe I'll go back and title them. But if you want more encouragement, maybe they're not all like this. Some of them are related to fitness. Some of them are related to faith. Some of them are related to being encouraged. The daily dose. If you need a daily dose, maybe you need a daily dose every day. I'm still planning to move forward. We're at episode number 273. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for staying tuned to me when so many other things you can be focused on, and keeping the news the main thing, or disappointments the main thing, or loss the main thing, or stress the main thing, or laziness the main thing. And thank you for chiming in, even if it was just one episode. I love you so much. Thank you so much. Happy New Year. I'm going to be on later, so don't worry. Stay tuned. Talk to you soon. Take care.